Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 633, The Last Haven. Intermediate. The small town of Greystone was quiet, nestled between green hills and a winding river. It was a place where people knew each other's names, and life moved slowly. But everything changed when the infection came. Nobody knew where it started. Some said a hospital, others a lab far away. All we knew was that the dead didn't stay dead. They walked, groaned, and hunted the living. Anna, a schoolteacher, was one of the last survivors in Greystone. She was 32, with sharp eyes and a calm voice that hid her fear. She carried a heavy cricket bat, its wood stained with blood. Beside her was Tom, a mechanic in his 40s, strong but tired, with grey streaks in his beard. They had been hiding in the town's library for weeks, barricading the doors with bookshelves and desks. The library was their haven, filled with books that reminded them of a world now gone. Outside, the zombies roamed. Their skin was grey, their eyes empty, and their moans filled the air like a terrible song. Anna and Tom took turns keeping watch from the library's high windows. They had food for a few more days, cans of beans, packets of biscuits, and bottles of water they'd found in the library's staff room. But they both knew they couldn't stay forever. One morning, Anna spotted something new. A faint light blinked in the distance beyond the hills. "Tom, look!" she whispered, pointing. Tom squinted through the dawn mist. The light flashed in a pattern. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS. "Could be a trap," Tom said, his voice low. "Or it could be people like us." Anna's heart raced. They hadn't seen another living person in weeks. "We're running out of food," she said. "If there's a chance, we have to take it." Tom nodded, though his face was grim. They packed their bags with the last of their supplies, and Anna tucked a small poetry book into her pocket, a reminder of hope. They moved the barricades quietly, checking for zombies. The street was empty, but the air smelled of rot. They crept through Greystone, staying low behind broken cars and crumbling walls. The zombies were slow but dangerous in groups. Anna's bat was ready, and Tom gripped a metal pipe. They moved towards the hills, following the light. Twice they hid as zombies shuffled past, their groans making Anna's skin crawl. After hours of careful steps, they reached the source of the light. A small farmhouse on a hill. Its windows were boarded, and a tall fence surrounded it. The SOS signal came from a torch on the roof, still flashing. Anna knocked on the gate, her heart pounding. "Hello? Anyone there?" she called softly. The gate creaked open, and a woman with a rifle appeared. She was older, with grey hair tied back and a face lined with worry. "You're not infected?" she asked, her voice sharp. "No," Tom said, raising his hands. "We're from Greystone. We saw your signal." The woman lowered her rifle slightly. "I'm Ellen," she said. "Come inside, quick." Inside the farmhouse, Anna and Tom found 5 others, 3 men and 2 women, all survivors like them. They had food, water, and a radio they used to send signals, hoping for rescue. Ellen explained that a military helicopter had been spotted nearby, picking up survivors. "They're coming back tomorrow," she said. "We just have to hold out." That night the zombies found the farmhouse. Their moans grew louder, and soon they were clawing at the fence. Anna, Tom, and the others fought to keep them out. They used sharpened poles, knives, and anything they could find. Anna swung her bat, her arms burning with effort. Tom stayed close, smashing skulls with his pipe. Ellen fired her rifle, each shot echoing in the dark. The fence held, but barely. By dawn, the yard was littered with zombie bodies, and everyone was exhausted. Then they heard it, the thump of the helicopter blades. A military chopper landed in a nearby field, and soldiers waved them over. Anna grabbed her poetry note, and Tom helped carry a wounded survivor. They ran, hearts pounding, as the zombies stirred behind them. The helicopter lifted off just as the fence collapsed. Anna looked down at Greystone, now a graveyard of the undead. She clutched the poetry book and whispered a line to herself. Hope is the thing with feathers. They were safe. At last. Vocabulary notes. Barricade, noun, verb, meaning, noun, a barrier or obstacle built to block or protect against an attack. Verb, to block or fortify a place with barriers. Use in the story. The survivors used bookshelves and desks to create a barricade to keep the zombies out of the library, showing their effort to stay safe. Example, they had been hiding in the town's library for weeks, barricading the doors with bookshelves and desks. Example sentence for learners, the villagers barricaded the town hall with wooden planks to stop the invaders. Similar words, barrier, noun, a structure that prevents movement, e.g., the police set up a barrier to stop the crowd. Blockade, noun, a barrier to stop supplies or people, e.g., the army created a blockade around the city. Fortify, verb, to strengthen a place against attack, e.g., they fortified the castle with extra walls. Haven, noun, meaning, a safe place where people or animals can find shelter or protection. Use in the story, the library is described as a haven, a place where Anna and Tom felt safe from the zombies, contrasting with the dangerous world outside. Example, the library was their haven, filled with books that reminded them of a world now gone. Example sentence for learners, the small cabin in the forest was a haven for the tired hikers. Similar words, refuge, noun, a place offering safety, e.g., the church was a refuge for those escaping the storm. Sanctuary, noun, a safe or sacred place, e.g., the wildlife sanctuary protects endangered animals. Shelter, noun, a place providing protection, e.g., they found shelter in a cave during the rain. Grim, adjective, meaning serious, unpleasant or depressing, often suggesting something worrying or hopeless. Use in the story, Tom's grim face shows his doubt and worry about following the SOS signal, reflecting the serious situation. Example, Tom nodded, though his face was grim. Example sentence for learners, the doctor's grim expression told us the news was bad. Similar words, bleak, adjective, cold, empty or hopeless, e.g., the future looked bleak after the factory closed. Somber, adjective, dark and serious, e.g., the funeral was a somber event. Gloomy, adjective, dark or depressing, e.g., the gloomy weather matched her mood. Creep, verb, meaning, to move slowly and carefully, often to avoid being noticed or heard. Use in the story, Anna and Tom creep through Greystone to avoid attracting zombies, showing their caution and fear. Example, they crept through Greystone, staying low behind broken cars and crumbling walls. Example sentence for learners, the cat crept silently toward the bird in the garden. Similar words, sneak, verb, to move secretly or quietly, e.g., she sneaked into the room without waking anyone. Tiptoe, verb, to walk quietly on the toes, e.g., he tiptoed past the sleeping dog. Slink, verb, to move slowly and quietly, often with guilt, e.g., the thief slunk away from the scene. Clatter, noun verb, meaning noun, a loud rattling sound made by hard objects hitting together. Verb, to make such a sound. Use in the story. The zombies clawing at the fence create a clattering noise, adding to the tension of the attack on the farmhouse. Example, their moans grew louder and soon they were clawing at the fence. Note, while clatter is implied in the sound of clawing, it's a related sound term for learners. Example sentence for learners. The pots and pans fell with a loud clatter in the kitchen. Similar words. Rattle. Noun verb, a rapid series of short, sharp sounds, e.g., the windows rattled in the strong wind. Clang. Noun verb, a loud metallic sound, e.g., the hammer hit the metal with a clang. Crash. Noun verb, a sudden, loud noise of breaking or hitting, e.g., the glass hit the floor with a crash. Story written by Grok AI. Image created by Grok AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.
Welcome to a deep dive exploring, resilience, hope, and that desperate search for safety when everything just falls apart. Today, we're delving into short story 633, The Last Haven. It's a gripping tale. Imagine a world where the dead don't stay dead. That's our starting point. We're going to unpack how small decisions, really vital ones, can lead to this unexpected glimmer of hope and what that tells us psychologically.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here is how the story sets up this immediate contrast. You've got Greystone, this quiet, normal town, and then bam, this sudden, overwhelming horror, this infection. So this deep dive, it's really going to highlight not just what people do to survive, but why they hang on to things, everyday things like books, or even to the idea of safety. They become these crucial psychological anchors, you know?
Right, so the story starts with Anna. She's a school teacher, armed with a cricket bat, oddly enough, and Tom, a mechanic. They're hiding out weeks into this thing in the town library. That's their first sanctuary. It's full of books, reminders of the world they lost. And they've barricaded the doors, bookshelves, desks. What is that act, that sort of frantic fortifying? Tell us about where they are mentally right then.
Oh, that's such a key observation. That physical barrier, it's not just defense, is it? It's about a need for control. When everything outside is chaos, you make one small space yours. It defines that first haven. But like you said, the story quickly shows the limits of just physical safety. Their food's running out. So the challenge shifts, doesn't it? From the zombies outside to this internal pressure. Stay and starve or risk absolutely everything for maybe, just maybe, real rescue.
And that's the turning point, really. One morning, Anna sees this faint light blinking. Far off. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS. Simple as that. But Tom, he looks troubled. His first reaction is suspicion. Is it a trap? They haven't seen anyone alive in weeks. What's the psychological impact there? Seeing the hope, but immediately questioning it.
It's just a profound dilemma, isn't it? I mean, after weeks of isolation, distrusting the unknown is almost primal. It's survival instinct 101. But then again, that same skepticism, it could paralyze you, keep you stuck. So they have to weigh this completely uncertain danger against the absolute certainty of their current situation, which is, well, grim. It's a risk calculation that really defines their humanity at that moment. How much hope are they willing to invest in?
So they decide to go, packing their last supplies. And Anna clutches this small poetry book. They have to creep through Greystone, staying low, moving behind wrecked cars, crumbling walls, avoiding the zombies. Slow.
But dangerous. You mentioned that poetry book earlier being a psychological anchor. How does carrying something so seemingly impractical, how does that fit into their journey? It's incredibly powerful, I think. That book isn't just about comfort, though maybe there's some of that. It's a cognitive anchor. It's a piece of the old world, pre-crisis logic. It helps reframe this, apocalyptic reality. It symbolizes holding on to humanity, purpose, even when everything's collapsing. And their movement, that creeping, it also shows their agency, right? They're not just passive victims waiting. They're actively, strategically moving, heightened survival instincts in action.
So after hours of this tense journey, they reach the source of the light. It's a farmhouse on a hill, guarded by a woman named Ellen. And inside, 5 other survivors. They have food, water, and crucially, a radio. That's how they were sending the signal. And the news. It's almost unbelievable. A military helicopter spotted survivors. It's coming back tomorrow.
Exactly. And this new haven, It's different, isn't it? It's not just about shelter anymore. It's about collective strength. Finding other people, especially people with a plan, with that radio, it shifts the whole narrative from just surviving day to day to actually anticipating a future. It's a powerful testament to how, shared purpose and acting together can reignite hope when it feels almost extinguished. It validates taking that massive risk.
But it's not over yet. That night, the zombies find them. They find the farmhouse. The moans get louder, closer. Soon they're literally clawing at the fence. It's this desperate fight. Sharpened poles, knives, Anna's bat, Tom's pipe, Ellen with a rifle. Total exhaustion. The fence just barely holds.
Yeah, that sound, the zombies clawing at the fence, it creates this intense auditory landscape of tension, doesn't it? It's the ultimate test for this new little community, this collective haven. But it also showcases incredible human resilience, just ordinary people becoming defenders of their last shred of hope. United. And the fact that the fence nearly collapses, it just makes the helicopter's arrival at dawn feel so much more poignant. That razor-thin line between utter despair and, deliverance.
And as the chopper lifts off, taking Anna, Tom, Ellen, everyone to safety, Anna looks down at Greystone. She's clutching her poetry book. And she whispers a line from it. Hope is the thing with feathers.
It's a powerful ending. And this deep dive, I think it really shows how searching for a physical haven, a safe place, is so deeply tangled up with finding psychological, emotional sanctuary, too. So maybe the question for you, the listener, is what does it mean to define hope, to cultivate it, when everything around you seems to scream despair? How do we find our own haven, or maybe help create one for others? It seems to be this blend, doesn't it? Physical strength, sure. Strategic thinking, yes. But also that sheer, undeniable power of shared human connection. That seems to be what ultimately saves them.